Fala galera do IGN Brasil, estamos aqui com ninguém mais, ninguém menos que Ed Boon, criador da franquia Mortal Kombat, uma das principais franquias de luta de toda a história dos games. Vamos falar um pouco sobre o novo lançamento Mortal Kombat 1, o mais recente game da franquia. Hello Ed, how are you doing?
Good.
And unlike the cinema, game directors are not always recognized for their work, but you have become the face of the Mortal Kombat franchise. How does it feel to you to achieve this feat?
Well, I think because when we first made the first Mortal Kombat game, it was only 4 people, so there were only 4 faces. Now there's hundreds of faces, and so I think since I was involved in the very first game, just by default, I became the face.
How difficult is it to continue innovating a franchise that has been around for so long?
It is challenging, and that's one of the things I think why Mortal Kombat has been around so long is because every game we try to introduce something new that hasn't been in any of the previous games. Because we never want people to play Mortal Kombat and go, oh, I've played this before. That's like the last game. And I think because we do that, it feels new, it feels fresh, and I think that's one of the reasons why we're still here 30-something years later.
And what is the biggest challenge of giving continuity and cohesion to the history while we're starting the series timeline?
Well, we've been telling a story for 30 years now that's been kind of the evolution of Liu Kang, and each game introduces a new villain who's more powerful than the last one. And the last game, Mortal Kombat 11, had a character, her name was Chronicon. She was about as powerful as any being can be. So we said, okay, enough of that. Let's start it over. And people who maybe haven't been playing Mortal Kombat, they know they can jump in right now. It's a brand new story, new features. That's why we're calling it Mortal Kombat 1, is because it's the start of a new story and features.
And why the crypt mode was removed from Mortal Kombat 1?
Well, that was one of the things, like I said, that we want. We don't want people saying, oh, I played the crypt before. I know what this is. So let's do invasions. Let's make it a little bit more interactive. So to put a new features that has some of the elements of the crypt, there's a lot to unlock in invasions mode, but it's a new thing that players can kind of enjoy that has not been in the previous games.
When the idea of the cameos came up to introduce this new feature in the game?
Sure. The original discussion that we had, the design team wanted to have assist things that weren't characters. They were like Sonya would have a drone that was following her around, and some other character would have something, but that was only tied to that character. I said, let's do something that can be shared amongst all of the characters. Mortal Kombat is all about characters, so let's make those assist things characters, and that's where that whole idea came, and I think it was a combination of those 2 ideas.
What was the funniest character to create of the franchise, and who is your favorite?
The funniest? Probably Johnny Cage, I think, is probably the funniest. He's the one, he's our humor character. He's the one who's kind of looking at the craziness that's Mortal Kombat from the common man perspective. And my favorite is always and will forever be Scorpion. Yeah.
It's my favorite too.
Oh, is it? Good.
What are the plans to attract new players to the Mortal Kombat franchise?
I think one of the plans to attract new players was starting the story again. That was a big one, because I think some players might think, oh, they're on chapter 11. I'm not going to know what's going on. I don't know these characters. And so we really wanted to say, okay, let's start with chapter 1. And then there's always, we always have these kind of tutorial training modes. A new player can play and just get the basic idea of how the fighting mechanic works. And then we also have a story mode, which is single player, because some people are intimidated by going online and being destroyed by somebody who's been playing the game for 30 years. The story mode is a very good place to start if you haven't played Mortal Kombat before.
And how do you feel about this rise of the fighting games again? Because in the 2000s there was a downturn. How do you feel about seeing the fighting games come back into the main stage?
I think it's great. I personally am a big fan of Street Fighter, Tekken, Guilty Gear, a number of these games. When Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat first came out, there was a big surge, and Tekken came and really did it. And then, like you said, it went down a bit. And now there's a new Mortal Kombat, a new Street Fighter, a new Tekken is coming. So I think it's an exciting time for fighting games.
Will we have more DLCs for Mortal Kombat 1 besides the combat pack, like aftermatch was in the Mortal Kombat 11?
I'm not supposed to like confirm it to you, but you know, in the past we've had a DLC pack and then a combat pack 2, and you know, we kept going. So I would be surprised if we stopped right here on the spot, but I have nothing to announce.